Überraschung, Somalier haben mehr Rechte wie du als Deutsche in Deutschland. Ja, richtig. That's exactly what's happening. Because a Berlin court decided that 3 Somalian illegal immigrants, right, and I'll tell you why they're illegal, should be able to stay. They can't get sent back at the border. So now we've got a new government which made a whole bunch of promises that they're not going to keep, right? And at least one guy in the CDU, Dobrindt, which is our interior minister, so like the home secretary kind of, he's actually trying is trying to do something, right? I feel personally like everybody that stayed on the CDU team after what Friedrich Merz did to the German people by lying to their fucking faces and then turning around and pissing on them and telling them it's rain. I think everybody should have had the backbone to say, I'm out with the CDU, right? I think they should have. But they didn't. They're all still there. So the Dobrindt guy, I don't know much about him, but up till now, he seems like he really wants to do something to, live up to at least some promises, because he probably realizes that the CDU's days are over once this cycle of politics is finished, right? And he's right. If the CDU does not manage to turn this immigration thing around in this country, they are done, right? They're done. So guys, it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday, the 3rd of June, 2025. It's now 10:45 in the morning. This is the Insanity Report for Germany for today, and it's only Tuesday, and already shit has gone off the fucking rails again. I could talk about 100 things today already, right? But I'm going to keep it to the Somalian illegal immigrants. So what happened was these Somalian illegal immigrants crossed or tried to cross the border from Poland to Germany, right? Now, the Dublin rules and the rules that Europe so obviously keeps held so high, and we're a rules-based order, and we're the good people, and we have to follow the rules. They mean you have to follow the rules, right? But except for this, because the rules say that once any migrant, even those seeking asylum, once they get to the border of a safe harbor country, which Poland is one of, right? The asylum claim must be made in that country. Well, they don't want to live in Poland, right? And I bet I know why, right? Poland is not so wow about Somalians, right? I can tell you that because I've been to Poland. I have friends who are Polish, and you don't see very many Somalians or Muslims or shit walking around in Poland. It's just not happening. There's a reason for that, right? So they don't really want the Somalians in their country, right? That's clear. And not only that, but Germany really wants to have them. You know why they really want to have them? Because Germany offers them free money. They can come for free. They can come legal or illegal. Doesn't fucking matter. They get treated like gods and kings. They have priority with the health system. They don't have to pay into the social welfare system, but they get to extract from it endlessly. We have to pay for it, right? We all have to pay for it. Now, we've told the government as much as we can, over and over again, we're not really about this. We don't really want this. And so the new government, some people get the picture that, listen, if they are not going to do something, the next election is 2029, and the AfD is going to win a full majority. At least they better, right? The German Michel, as they say, should have woken up by now, right? And at the very latest in 2029, when the immigration problem has just gotten even worse instead of better, that should be the last moment that they should go, well, okay, I guess the CDU and all these establishment parties can't fix the problem or don't want to. The last moron should already get it now, right? But a lot of them still need more pain. I say it over and over again in my videos, so you'll hear me say that over and over again. Anyway, the new government has decided we're going to be a little bit tougher on immigration, and so we're going to start sending people who don't have a valid asylum claim back at the border. Now, I said in a previous video, this does not do shit, right? It doesn't do anything. The reason why it doesn't do anything is there's no fences and no walls around Germany. And once they realize that they're not going to be able to get in by just driving over or waltzing over the border at the main border crossing, they're going to go through the woods. They're going to go through smaller towns that also have border crossings but are not guarded. So a fence or barbed wire or a wall is the only way, because the outside countries of Europe are not keeping their part of the agreement, which is that they must process the asylum claims as they come in and keep illegals out. That's the deal, right? That's the law. It's not very fucking difficult. It's not complicated. Any politician that says, well, but it's European law, is so complicated. Well, this one isn't fucking complicated at all. It's clear, right? So, since the outside countries are not doing their job and letting hundreds of thousands of illegal and legal immigrants through their countries in order to get into Germany, because in Germany they live like kings, you know what I'm saying, in comparison to where they came from, for sure, and we get to pay for their kingly placemanship here in the country, right? So, of course, these other countries are going to be like, well, dude, why should we fuck with them, you know what I'm saying, if Germany is basically pulling them in like a fucking magnet. So, I get Poland's stance, right? Poland said, let them go through. We don't need them. Let them go to Germany. That's where they want to go, and Germany wants them, which is true, right? Just the people of Germany don't want them. But the government, the people that control everything, they want them. So we're fucked as people. Like I said, people are going to have to start protecting themselves and taking private action. I'm not saying that has to be violent, right? I'm not calling for violence. But the people have to take action themselves. They're going to have to teach their, maybe you should send your kids to, some sort of self-defense courses or karate classes, or put them in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Maybe you should give the girls a little pepper spray or some shit to keep, they're going to have to protect themselves. The schools are not protecting them, right? Schools are a dangerous place in Germany because of all the illegal migration. Right? And them getting put into these schools, not speaking German. The teachers are fucking overwhelmed. The schools are overwhelmed. There's violence everywhere. And parents can't be sure that their kids are going to be coming home safe and sound every day. So, as I was a parent, which I'm not, but if I was, if I had to send my kids to one of these schools, I would weaponize them. I would give them a weapon of some sort to be able to defend themselves. And I would put both boys and girls in jiu-jitsu in order to be able to have them defend themselves. Jiu-jitsu is a great discipline anyway, right? So anyway, back to the Somalians, right? So the Somalians, because of the new government, were turned back at the border, for real. They really were. It's amazing. They actually did what they said they were going to do. So they turned them back at the border. But when you're talking in Germany about turning people back, right? It's not like in America where you get to the border, they say no, and then you're there at the border crossing. You just can't get across. And how you get back to where you came from, that's your fucking problem. You just can't come in here. That's basically it. Not so much in Germany. So in Germany, they loaded them up. Now, the border to Poland is not anywhere close to Frankfurt, right? Not very close, right? And unless there's one I don't know about, but I don't think it's super close. So they didn't send them back. These are three people. They're three people. They didn't deny them access. No. They said, okay, you got to come with us. We're going to drive you to some fucking center in Frankfurt where they're going to, I don't know, check you for lice and medically treat you and make sure you're safe and sound and your ass is wiped. And then we're going to put you on another bus that's going to cost the taxpayer even more money to transport you back to Poland, right? And they were getting ready to get put on this bus to go back to, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. So we have to pay for not only the extra security that it costs to guard a border that's unguardable because there's no fence or no wall around it, then we have to spend money for the police to drive their ass, I don't know how many kilometers to Frankfurt to get checked out, also by other police whose salaries we pay. And then we have to pay for their detention there while they wait for a trip back to fucking Poland, which we also have to pay for. It's completely fucking insane. Okay? It's insane. So that's what happened. That they were transported back to Poland. but not before an NGO, I don't know what it's called, something for Azil or Top Azil, some fucking bullshit, who cares? Some NGO was waiting outside the detention center in order to be able to ask these gentlemen from Somalia if they would like to sue the German government, because what the German government did is illegal. And so the Somalian guys were like, sure, we don't have any money though. And they were like, no problem, we'll pay for it, right? So the NGO sues on behalf of these Somalians, and they win. They win in court. So the court said, sorry guys, you can't send people back to across the border in your own country. So, I mean, it's over then. That's it. That's it. There's nothing. Again, this government is so feckless, so fucking unbelievably cowardly. They're letting Islam take the country over. Now, I'm not going to throw any shade to the Islamists that are trying to take over the country. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Maybe if I was in your position, I would do the same thing. But it's up to this country and their politicians to make sure you can't. And they are not, they're working with them. How can you allow an NGO that is supposed to be humanitarianly helping, right? How can, if they are working against your government's policies and the interest of your people, you don't give them money and you don't allow them to operate in your country? It's that simple, right? It's that fucking simple. Okay? If I let a plumber into my house and he's there to fix the plumbing, right? And he starts wrecking the whole upstairs area of my house. He bashes every wall in with a crowbar, you know what I'm saying? He fucks everything up that is there. He's destroying the whole place. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a second. I hired you and I allowed you to operate in my house to fix the plumbing. Now you are wrecking the rest of my house. I can't have that. So you're fired and get out of my fucking house and I'll send you the bill for the damages, right? Just imagine if a court said, no, that's a legally operating business and you must let him operate in your house. That's never going to happen, right? Well, maybe with Friedrich Merz as chancellor, it could. But that's how the NGOs operate. So they operate against the policy of the fucking European Union. The policy of the European Union is they must be sent back to the country of safe haven where they should have claimed asylum. Yet when a country tries to do that, they get slapped on the fingers, right? They get slapped on the hands. And then an NGO that is working specifically to counter this already established law, right? That's their job. Their job is to help illegal immigrants get into the country and be able to stay there. That's what they're doing. And they're getting European Union money for it. I checked if the German government is giving this NGO any money. I couldn't find anything, but the EU is funding them. I don't know how much it is, but they're funding them, right? Just like all of these fucking enemy NGOs. They're our enemy, these people. They should, an organization like this NGO that sued on behalf of these Somalian migrants, right? Illegal immigrants, right? Because they're illegal in this country. They might have gotten asylum in Poland. We don't know, because we don't know if their claim for asylum is valid, but they're illegally in Germany. And that's who's being helped over the interest of the German people and against the law of the land, right? These politicians are always talking about, well, we have to uphold the European law. The European law is the most important shit. And so this organization is working against the European law. They are teaching migrants how to break the law and circumvent it. How do you as a country allow such an organization to continue to operate? It's not complicated. You revoke their status as a legal company in this country and they're fucking gone, right? They can do that. The government can do that. They're not gonna. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So we have now gotten to the position where Somalian illegal immigrants officially have more rights and privileges than the average German person does, than most German people do. And even if you try to take a hard stance as a political figure or a party that's in power, right? Even if you try to do that, you are going to get smacked in the face by a judge. Just like what's happened in America, except what's going to happen in America if these judges don't start shaping up or the Supreme Court doesn't step in and fix this. Eventually what's going to happen, I guarantee you it's going to happen. Donald Trump is going to tell the judges to go fuck themselves, right? That's what's going to happen. So if the Supreme Court doesn't fix this issue with judges being able to stop the government from doing its job, then Trump is going to be put in a position where he's going to have to tell these judges to go pound sand, right? No, we're going to continue. Now, Dobrindt is trying to do this in Germany. He also got this court, the verdict from the court, and he came out on TV and said, we're going to continue sending people back at the border. This was just a one-off ruling. Now, I can tell you right now, he is incorrect. It is not a one-off ruling, right? It is right now, but it's not going to be. Why? Because these NGOs are able to operate, and it's not just this one. There's hundreds of them. They're able to operate in this country. They're able to stand outside these detention centers and offer people free legal help, which they then end up winning. And they get to do it on our money. Isn't that fucking great? I mean, the world has gone completely insane. This country is completely fucking insane, and it is, God damn it, I'm going to say it over and over again, it is time that the people get off their ass and stand up, for Christ's sake. And I know nobody wants to get violent, nobody wants to, put their life in danger or the lives of their families in danger, but hey, you don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? You just have to get vocal, and you have to vote the right way. You have to get more involved. You must get more involved in what is happening in this country, one way or another. Right? And please, when the time to vote comes again, and hopefully it'll be sooner rather than later, but latest in 2029, you have no choice as a German voter but to vote for the AfD, or your country is finished. These politicians, these establishment politicians, are proving as much. Your country will be finished. So, I mean, just look. Dobrindt thinks that he's going to be able to continue to turn people back at the border, which, by the way, I'm going to mention it again, is not really doing much. Again, these people have all kinds of ways in, right? They don't have to go over an official border. And as soon as they say asylum, they have to be let in anyway. So it's not really doing shit. It's also not sending any signals to them that they better watch out. No, they don't care. And if they can't find a way in, the NGO that's working against the interest of the country will find a way to let them in. They will contact them. They will help them. I mean, NGOs were all over the South America helping smuggle people into the United States for all during Biden's presidency. So that's pretty insane, right? Again, people, for the last time, only the AfD will have the balls to tell the courts and the European Union people to fuck off. They will have the balls to say, we are going to protect our borders no matter what the cost. You know what I mean? And Europe's going to go, well, you can't do that because we, blah, blah. And then the AfD's going to go, well, Europe, then how about we stop paying? How about that? The largest payer of EU money in Europe is Germany. How about we stop paying EU? How about that? How about that? You know how fast the EU is going to shut the fuck up? Like that. Like that. Because it's all about the money. Right? They're going to be done in 5 seconds. If Germany stops paying the bills to the EU is fucking finished. And the AfD has the balls to say so and act accordingly. Only they will do it. The other politicians aren't going to do it. When Merz gets a hold of Dobrindt, he's going to whistle him back. He's going to call him back and say, no, we are all on the same page. You can't go an extra way. The court said, no, that's the end. I bet that's what's going to happen. So Dobrindt is going to lose this battle because there's going to be more and more lawsuits and more lawsuits are going to win. It's going to end up costing too much money, and Friedrich Merz will probably call him to the mat anyway, right? It's likely. It's likely. So what these politicians are doing is utterly useless. And they are basically saying to the people, we've lost all control. We don't know what to do anymore. Sorry, you're going to have to help yourself. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. This place is unbelievable. Really crazy. You know what I'm saying? Really crazy. The so-called democracy that you people think is here in this country isn't here. It's gone. It's gone. It doesn't work. It's not working. So, I don't know what to tell you. Like I said, arm yourselves, be able to defend yourselves, and get vocal, and vote the right way when you get the chance. I don't know. That's all I got for you. Peace out.